Hello again and welcome back to the channel. This is Michael from TOEFLresources.com. This is just a quick video to let you know that the changes to the TOEFL that I reported a couple of weeks ago are now official. ETS has now announced that the TOEFL IBT test will change starting July 26th of this year. And so I'm going to keep this video short and sweet because I've already reported on it in detail and I will post links to my original videos. But if you want a summary, here's what you should know. Starting July 26th, the reading section will be much shorter. It's going to have just 20 questions. That means 2 articles, 10 questions each. The listening section will have 28 questions, and that's the same as before, but there's no chance of unscored questions making it longer. The speaking section will have 4 questions, the same as before, and they are going to be the exact same questions. No change in the speaking section. The writing section will have 2 tasks, but there will be a big difference here. It's going to be the integrated essay as before, and then a new question called the Writing for Academic Discussion question, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. The total time to take the test will be just under 2 hours. As I said a moment ago, there will be no unscored questions on the test. None. None in the reading section, none in the listening section. No unscored questions. And since the test is now pretty short, there will be no break. So to be a little bit more specific, here's again what you should know about the new TOEFL. The reading section is going to be exactly the same, just shorter. The articles are going to be the same length, the same style, the same difficulty level, the same topics. They're going to be the same. The questions are going to be the same. You're going to get 10 questions just like before. The difficulty level of those questions will be the same. Just the section will be shorter. There's going to be fewer questions. The listening section is going to be the same. You're going to get the same kinds of lectures, the same kinds of conversations, and the same kinds of questions. In fact, you are going to get the same number of questions, but as I said, there's no chance of unscored questions. The speaking section is going to be exactly the same. The same 4 questions, the same 4 question types. No change to the speaking section. The writing section is where we have the biggest changes. You will get the integrated essay as before. It's going to be the same integrated essay. You're going to have a reading, you're going to have a lecture, and then you're going to write about them. But the independent essay is going to go away starting July 26th. The independent essay will be gone. In its place, you're going to have something called the academic discussion question. And that's going to take just 10 minutes to complete. Now, thankfully, we do have an official sample of the academic discussion question, which you see on the screen now. The question begins by saying that your professor is teaching a class on some academic subject. In this case, it's sociology. It might be history, it might be business, it might be political science, whatever. And the question says you need to respond to what they've asked, and in your response, you should express an opinion and make a contribution to the ongoing discussion. It says your response should contain at least 100 words. You can write more than that if you want. That's just sort of a recommendation. After that, you get a question. Now, these questions seem to be a little bit more specific than the independent essay questions. I mean, they relate to an academic topic, so they're not quite as broad and personal as the independent writing questions are. That's my impression so far. They're also a little bit longer than the independent writing question. Anyways, after you've read the question, you're going to check out the discussion. And the discussion consists of 2 students, each of them who have answered the question. So you read their responses, and then you write your own. So when you write the response, you want to include information from their responses. You know what I mean? Those responses are not just for decoration. You actually want to include some of their details in your response. Anyways, if you want to know more about this, I already have a video guide all about it, and I've got a bunch of samples which I'll link to down below. And that's all you really need to know about the new TOEFL. It's a lot like the old TOEFL, just shorter and more concise. There are a few fun little details that have been announced today as well. First up is probably my favorite. It's been announced that free practice sets with AI scoring will be provided. That's amazing. That's something I've asked for a long time. I love the idea that they're using AI scoring both on the test and in the practice materials, and that AI scoring is going to be free to access. Next up, it's been announced that registration will be faster and easier. That's great too, because currently it takes like 15 or 20 minutes to register for the test. So hopefully that's brought down to something a bit more reasonable in the weeks and months ahead. Next is really cool. It's been announced that test takers will be told exactly when their score will be reported when they finish the test. Currently, it's a little bit ambiguous. Like ETS says, yeah, it'll take maybe 4 to 8 days to get your score, maybe a little bit later if there's a holiday. But now, or starting July 26th, when you finish the test, you will be told exactly when to expect your score. That's pretty cool. Finally, they've also announced that free rescheduling will be provided from April 13th to April 30th. So if you've just heard about the new test and you've already registered, you'll have a chance to change your test date if you want to take the new version of the test without paying a fee. So that's pretty cool as well. All right, I am going to leave it at that, but check the video description down below for links to my detailed videos about these changes. And if you want to know more about what I do, you can check me out at TOEFLresources.com. I've got guides to every section of the test, and if you need a little help preparing for the test, you can talk to me about that. I'll also put links down below to the official ETS announcement and the official preparation materials, which are currently available. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel because I will be reporting on all of this new fun TOEFL stuff in the next few days and weeks, I'm sure. All right, I'll leave it at that, but I will see you again real soon.